YWAM Perth Fortnightly News is back.
First, we're going to look at Discipleship Training School. DTS is 6 months, where we spend 3 months here in Perth and then 3 months on outreach. We learn about Jesus and then we go and share him with the world. We have people come from all around the world. Students come from a lot of different backgrounds and countries to come and learn about God. We're going to hear from 2 here today, and we can check out their stories.
Yeah, I started to partner with YWAM with my church. So we took in our high schoolers down to Mexico and on like a week-long short-term missions trip, and like it was crazy. Got to see God move in my own life and other people's lives. It was really cool. Did that a couple more times until finally decided to want to do DTS. 5 weeks, been awesome, learning about who God is. Biggest week probably was week 2. We learned about character and nature of God. Really good, just to see who God is and how big He is, how powerful He is. God of the universe can create with just His words. It's crazy.
I'm Joanne. I am 22 years old. I'm from the Netherlands. I grew up in a Christian family, so I never really grew up with the realization that you can have a personal relationship with God. This week we have had a subject about the father heart of God, and one thing that has been really eye-opening for me was that He is not looking for tasks, or I grow up with that it's a big value, do performance and do good and be good and have good grades and stuff like that. But when I found out that God is actually way more personal, and He values quality time over the tasks, I was like, ooh, yes. It was a bit confronting, a bit convicting, but still very good.
This week we had the pleasure of hosting some of YWAM Australia's key leaders, and I got to sit down and hear about how God is moving in the nations through them and the works that they're doing.
14 years ago I started a project here in Australia called Island Breeze Rugby Plus, where we use rugby as a tool to help and disciple young people in what we call in the rugby world on and off the field. And so what we do, we take the component of discipleship right into the heart of rugby. Yeah, we picked up a boy in Fiji by the name of Stefania Nevalu. I saw him in high school playing rugby. He had gone through his own story. His mom passed away from cancer. Picked up this little boy, bring him to Australia through our program. And he's a very good athlete. Now, at the moment, he's playing for Australian national team. And so that's one of the success story where he has gone from the village now to make it all the way to the national level, and have taken those values with him.
Yeah, I work with YWAM Southland in Adelaide. YWAM Southland is a part of 3 different bases, Tasmania, Melbourne and Adelaide. We work together. Even though we all have our 3 different centers. And we've been, for the past few years, quite focused on reaching out to the local community with a number of programs with homeless people, with kids at risk, youth at risk, evangelism. And just recently, we just really feel the Lord calling us back at getting our strength back onto training. We love equipping young people, and we just want to be able to do more training, and so we can have multiplication and be able to even bless even more the city of Adelaide, the state of South Australia, and the nations. Yeah.
My husband and I are pioneering a new YWAM ministry in inner city Sydney. So it's a suburb called Newtown, which is a really fun, eclectic arts community in the inner city. And so we are just getting ready to launch our very first Discipleship Training School this year, and we are thrilled about that. And we want to see that people are given framework to come experience God, be active in a supportive Christian community that helps people in their spiritual formation, but ultimately that helps people find their place in the world, you know, and learn how to love their neighbors well. And if they're already loving their neighbors well, then to learn how to grab others and love their neighbors well together, and that's really our passion.
Isn't it amazing to hear the ways that God is using different ministries to reach the nations? If you are interested in any of the ministries that were mentioned, check out the links below. And while you're down there, why don't you check out Humility and Hunger bands? Oh my gosh, so close. So, Humility and Hunger's worship band. Oh my gosh, so close.
Enter his gates, enter his courts with shouts of praise. Our God is good, his love endures throughout the age. We will see.
The EP that's coming out in this year is basically a collection of songs that were written over the last year of us kind of going on outreach. Our kind of thing is that, you know, we would write songs for the nations, from the nations. So it's been a thing of us going to the nations and just being inspired by what we've been doing in ministry, asking God his heart for the nation that we're in, and then writing songs out of that place. So the album will be a representation of many outreaches of us going out and getting God's heart for these different places.
So pull me closer, closer to your heart.
And so Pull Me Closer really describes God's pursuit of us, him drawing us near. With the album art, we just had the idea of having a guy falling, and just this idea of kind of like falling out of control and being pulled into God's love. We kind of designed things with the album art, and even with the music video. When you see it, there's all these cool shots of like pulling in and these different camera movements that kind of just signify this like pursuit, this like pulling, this drawing closer. Yeah, it was a really cool creative process. It took us a long time to get there, but it's really cool to see all the different album arts and different ideas that we had along the way. People can listen on Spotify, iTunes, most major listening platforms. It'll be up on YouTube as well. You can just look up Humility and Hunger and it should find its way there. You can also follow us at Humility and Hunger on Instagram.
He is good, making a way for all to come.
Sweet, that's it for us, guys. Thanks for watching.
Hit like, subscribe, follow us everywhere.
Yeah, if you're interested in more about DTS, you can check out the website link below. We're fortnightly news, so we're here every 2 weeks. So keep up with us. And next week we have Leah joining us to host. She'll be with Talalay. If you guys want her to wear something funny in the video, comment it below and then we'll make her wear it. Whatever is the highest liked thing, that's what we're going with. So come on.
And so pull me closer and closer to your heart. Take me deeper, further into perfect love. Take me higher. We will sing